Welcome to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. It's June, and it's Black Music Month. And this month, we're talking about Black music and everyone behind it, all of those that movers and shakers that make it happen. Today, we're also talking about Kendrick Lamar's Juneteenth performance. Has radio lost its relevance? 5 ways to get uninvited from the cookout. And we got Johnny Walker in the building, Big Sue in the building. But coming up first is Mr. Whoop That Trick himself.
Hey, get him. Hey, I appreciate these Whoop That Trick drinks.
All right, but we'll be right back.
I'm getting started.
All right, we're getting started.
I'm ready.
Hey, we'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. Let me welcome my wonderful, wonderful co-host who had a little something to snack on today. Angelica Jelly Woods is in the building.
Thank you. I got a cough and it's making me a little drunk. So I apologize in advance.
Oh, okay. Last time I checked, you was asking Michelle for something sweet. And,
Ooh, you bet it. That's not true, y'all. He would do anything for some footage. It's lies, you tell. Go ahead,
This
Kojak.
piece will be clipped. Look, I tried to hurry up the shift. Kojak. DJ Kojak, scratch it up for him 4 times. Bam, 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 bam.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Al Kapone in the building. Did you hear that scratch? That's the test.
I heard bams. I heard bam.
Number 2 now.
I'm saying, yeah.
Give him another whoop that.
I heard a bam, man. I'm saying,
Bam.
what happened to the chicken?
It was there.
Al Capone, you gotta listen with your third mind.
Yes.
Yeah, it's there.
So y'all didn't tell me. So I need let me sip a little bit more.
Shout out 2 chicks in the bottle who brought us the Whoop That Trick. Y'all give it up for my guy Al Capone in the building.
Hold on. It's y'all fault, man. Y'all done did that too. Y'all got me.
We did do that.
I heard the scratching now.
Okay, you hear it now.
It was a delay.
It's a delay.
Right.
Delay. Man.
Okay.
My bad.
Hey, look, we are incredibly honored to have you here on the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
June is Black Music Month all month long. We've been celebrating Black music, man. And Memphis is a mecca for Black music.
Yes, sir.
And you're a part of that history.
Man, glad to be, thankful to be, and it's a long list, long list.
Yes, yeah, man. I have to give a shout out to Al Capone. Al Capone was one of my first friends that I got when I got to Memphis.
Real talk.
Back in the early 90s, right back all the way back to the days of Warehouse Studio. In there.
Real talk.
Al Capone, SMK, and some of the others, man, and it's interesting too because honestly, real talk, I remember Al Capone being one of the biggest phenomenons of local artists to come out of music. Now let me show you what Al Capone, how innovative he was. Back in the days of 380 Bill, right? Al Capone had on his set a coffin. Right, you remember that? And Al Capone, would rise up out of the coffin.
Yep.
And real talk. So you got to understand. And for those that y'all need to understand this history. So just a little bit before that, the Bovan started the Bovan dance.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
And then the Bovan dance became Gangsta Walk.
Yes, sir.
Right, and then Gangsta Walk.
Shout out to Spanish Fly.
Shout out to Spanish Fly. Yep. Yes, sir. Spanish Fly, come on the show, man. We waiting on you, man. Look, but here's what Al Capone did that made it different. He evolved Gangsta Walking, right? Because when he came up out of that coffin and he was on that stage, he was so wild with it that Gangsta Walking became a mosh pit. Am I lying?
That is true. The turn up was real.
Black version of a mosh pit.
The turn up was real.
And then it became buck jumping.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Well, I think it started with buck jumping and kind of evolved. It was bouncing between buck jumping and Gangsta Walking at one point, and then Gangsta Walking fully stuck.
Right.
Yeah.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Yeah, and we said on the last show or the show before that, who we had, we was talking about Gangsta Walking, Kurt Clayton.
Oh, Kurt.
And
Clayton.
was
KC.
Kurt, was,
Yeah, it was KC.
and you know, back then, man, it was such a phenomenon. Gangsta Walking, you know, I was the transplant here, so I was from out of town. So
So you looking at it from
the outside.
Yeah,
right?
and like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah. And it was such
There's some
a
different
phenomenon.
hip hop going on here. Yeah.
It was such a phenomenon that no matter where you went in the city, if you saw a person walking across the street, they were swinging their curl and they were gangster walking. They wasn't walking regularly. They were gangster walking.
Do it, look. Okay.
Yeah. And then
Throw a boulder
right,
in there.
right. And then
Ain't no turn all the way.
Right.
It's the movement tricks, man. Y'all fault.
Now tell us about that period from your perspective, though. How did it get started for you?
Well, just being one of the early pioneers in the scene, it started really with 21st Century Youth Club for me. A lot of us.
Yeah.
This guy was there. You know what I'm saying? It was. I would say a little before the full Memphis rap sound. It was just a bunch of Memphis people that's into hip hop and rap and DJing and whatever the case may be. We used to go to 21st Century Youth Club and that was our chance to kind of work with each other and vibe with each other and see the different styles. It was at that time, it was a bunch of different styles. Nobody did most people didn't do the same styles.
Right.
Everybody had their own style, and it was just a cool hub just for people hip hop in Memphis at the time.
But let me pause you there. And,
Okay.
and I'm sorry to interrupt, but the point that you made was 21st Century Youth Club.
Youth Club. We were teenagers.
So
we were literally
so
teenagers.
there was something for y'all to do.
It was something for us to do. It was, especially when it came to hip hop and entertainment. You know, it was like one of the first places you could go to see people from other places or other parts of the city that had the same love that you had for hip hop, and got to know each other. You know what I'm saying? And I first met Ballin' G there. Endo G, he was there at the time. Tila, Cody Mack, so that was second level. Peaches and Cream, you know what I'm saying? Peaches, Cream, and Chinese. They was like some of the early Memphis female rappers at the time. So it was, without going there, I wouldn't have known all those different people.
But were you part of a group at first?
Yeah,
Right?
I was part of the group. It was called the RG Syndicate, and then evolved into the Men of the Hour.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So those were the early days, man. And then eventually we end up at OTS Records.
Right.
And around that time, I would say that's when the Memphis rap sound really started to kind of take shape at the time.
Yeah. So the early days of OTS, we talked about that. Shout out to Reggie Boylan, who Kojak said was coming on the show.
Well, the 27th, he got to get to Memphis.
I can see Reggie B. He'll come.
Been on the phone for a long time.
Shout out to Reggie B.
Well, look, Kojak was Kojaking us. That's a term.
Okay.
Where you ask a question, you don't really get an answer.
Sure.
You don't move anywhere.
You just wait.
Like hearing scratches if you don't hear it.
There you go.
Right. And so you know, I remember them days, and we talked about this last show. You know, when OTS was going back then, Gangsta Pat was there. Slice.
We looked up to Gangsta Pat. Gangsta Pat was the main.
He was the first one to put it on.
You hear
Right?
me?
Yeah, I'm the gangster. I remember when it dropped.
Real talk.
Right. And I remember Pretty Tony writing Get Buck at OTS. I was there when he was writing it. Right? Yeah, and that's a funny story. We talked about that story, right? And Mac Rod was there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Shout out to MC Rod, man. Mac Rod.
Yeah,
Shout out to Mac Rod. Slice T. Go ahead.
And you know, and Marvin, of course, Slice's little brother. You know.
Yes, sir.
Interestingly enough, you know, all of them, you know, it was such a tight family because from Slice also came, you know, Jazzy Faye and you know, and Mohawk and Major and
man, come on, man, the Funkaholics.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Also at OTS, one of the in-house producers was Tyrone Bell, aka Psycho.
Yeah, that's right.
Psycho's on the show too.
Yeah.
It was him.
We got
Red's doing some good stuff. They doing some big.
His Psycho kids,
right?
Called the CEO Fam.
Right.
I actually featured them on a few of my shows. They are phenomenal.
Right.
Phenomenal.
Nice.
Yeah, and so I'm looking at this clock, so I don't want this segment to run out without us talking about, you know, fast forwarding, right? And then, you know, of course, you know, Hustle and Flow came along.
Yes, sir.
And walk us through it.
Oh man, just I hustled my way in, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know, got a few songs on there, and one of those songs being Whoop That Trick, and you know what I'm saying, it just, you know, everybody received it well in that film, and then years later, before I know it, it's an NBA chant at the Grizzlies game.
Right, yeah, man.
The people, you know what I'm saying, did that. I had nothing to do with it, but I am capitalizing every chance I can.
I know that's right.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
That's one of them things, one of them phenomenons about Memphis. There are things that if you ever come to Memphis or live in Memphis, that things that just cannot be replicated, right?
Yeah.
One was going down to Rayford's back when
Man, I love
before
Rayford's.
MTV came.
I heard you. I heard you.
Yep, and you just could not replicate that, right?
Yeah.
And another is to watch 10,000 white folks with
All walks of life. Hold on, we ain't gang. We can't say it. All white folks. All walks of life.
Wait a minute. Let me tell you. Let me qualify why I said
They are part of that walk of life.
Let me qualify why I said.
Okay, go ahead.
Because we are ready, black folks. We are ready.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say whoop that chicken, but to see the white folks
I agree.
and see, you know,
Yeah.
a CEO of a Fortune 500 company
and boxes
and waving
Return.
and doing his hands like this and hollering, whoop that trick. That is
Soccer moms and
soccer moms.
It is pretty
Right.
wild. It's wild. It's wild.
It's the rabbi.
Yeah.
You know, it's unbelievable to see and experience that.
Yeah.
Right. And real talk, everybody that comes into town that goes to a Grizzlies game and see that for the first time are like just
blown away. Yeah. And the beautiful thing is it stays in a positive tone where it's just to chant the team on. It never escalates past that.
Right.
And it never did. And you know what I'm saying, we all got to be proud of the fact that we can have that type of energy and that type of chant and keep it there.
Yeah.
Keep it there.
And it doesn't become anything negative.
Yeah.
So speaking of lively events, Kendrick Lamar had his Juneteenth concert.
Yeah.
And and at the Forum, right? Not the FedEx Forum, but the LA Forum, the Fabulous Forum, what we used to call it back in the day when I grew up in LA. You know, he had the Gangs United at his concert.
Did that.
Right?
Did
and he took advantage of an opportunity to really pull everybody together and take something, even though the energy is coming from him dissing Drake,
a diss track.
right, but
They not like us.
right. Yeah. So what, along those lines, what do you think about, Kendrick Lamar pulling all the gangs together, through his music? And then I want to come back to your other question.
Anytime you can, unite different people from opposing. When you can get ops to come together, that's always going to be a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, speaking of that, what is it going to take to bring these young cats together here? Because they getting the numbers, they doing their thing. I see a lot of artists doing their thing. They getting the numbers, but they die before they get all the way out there. Is that something if anybody in the city can do it, bro, I know you could put together we sit all these young cats together, sit them down, and
Well, I would have to say I do go to a lot of schools. I've been doing that for
I love what you're doing.
Yeah, for some years now. I just try to put that positive energy out there to let them know, it is about staying alive. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you gotta move a certain way to stay alive, and it's not all about trying to overprove your bravado or whatever the case may be. It's about staying alive and doing what you got to do to take care of yourself first, and then take care of people in your family. So I actually get out there and do that. Yeah. And anytime I meet with young artists, I try to get them as much game as I can give them to help them see the bigger picture and let them know, it's more than just today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You if you move right, you got 10 years from now. You know what I'm saying? You got 20 years from now. So you got to make the moves now that's going to help you 10 years from now, 20 years from now. You don't want to be 10, 20 years from now thinking about what you did when you were young that's still affecting you 10, 20 years later.
But let me ask you this, though. Back when, during the warehouse days and Club 380 days, now we thought we were wild, and there'd be some fights, you right? But what do you think, what do you think about today's rap industry? And where, and the difference between the, from
today's rap industry, other than this, we got the internet that made it easy for anybody to release music and get out there and possibly be successful. But as far as the content, it reflects the energy that they're really on. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they just that's what I see. I see them reflecting the energy that they're on. We were doing the same thing then, but it was, even though it was guns around, it wasn't the level of guns that I think the level of guns that's available is an epidemic, the same way crack was an epidemic for us in the 80s and 90s.
It's the way that
gun culture now. There's
and it's the first thing they do instead of fighting. Back in the days, you at least fight. No, gun gonna be the first response. If you would, they can't take no L.
Yeah.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
I'm sure.
And it's automatic weapons. You know what I'm saying? It's a different level of guns now that makes it easy to, like you said, not fight no more. It's just you up your gun. You know what I'm saying? And then move that way.
But there's also a fundamental difference too. You know, we were, you know, during that time coming out of the crack epidemic, or well, actually, you know, peaking in the crack epidemic. But none of the rappers were on crack.
Yes.
You know,
we were actually against it.
Right.
We were actually against doing crack.
Right.
We weren't against getting some money.
Smoking.
Now it's cool.
A lot of weed smoke now.
We weren't opposed to getting money though, but we definitely wasn't.
Now you can pop a
now
pill.
Today, you know, is you know, you hear the music.
Pop a pill, do a line,
being a junkie, right? Popping pills.
Yep.
Listen, man, let's be clear. A lot of this is something I don't think most people think about when they, you know, doing certain drugs. Actually, when you look at what's in the drug, it's heroin in the drug.
Right.
It's cocaine in the drug. You know what I'm saying? Fentanyl and stuff like that. It doesn't say that like going crack.
Right.
It was crack. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But when you got all these different, when you got the different pills with these different names, it doesn't say what's in the pill and stuff like that.
Like just Molly.
Yeah.
So
you know what I'm saying? Molly, opioids and stuff like that. So you don't realize that you are becoming an addict.
Yeah.
Because those drugs don't say what's really in it.
But it's a lifestyle. Addiction is a lifestyle. I mean, you put perks, whatever her name is, Waukesha, getting high, lean. It's a lifestyle. Getting up to get high. They glamorize a lot of people in the industry. They do, not a lot, but most people do.
It's because
it's okay
again,
to knock your nose and keep on going and get some.
I don't know, but
hey, welcome to the Antonio.
Look how many people right now in Jay-Z's situation. It's a party thing. They walk around. It's part of a party.
But the thing is, when it's cocaine, it's cocaine. You know it's cocaine.
It's pure,
But the pills and stuff like that doesn't say what's in it. But it's in there.
And it's so much new doctoring that's taking place. You know. They are changing them elements in those pills, and you know.
Let me get my bartender
Right. Oh, there you go. Yeah. And so, but our these new rappers, right? You know, they're testing everything, right? You know, it's not a drug that,
like Mike L said.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all seen the Mike L clip.
We've been talking about it. Yeah, exactly.
Everything, but you know what I'm saying. But listen, it's at the end of the day, I think it comes back to. Number one, education. I think if they really knew what was in it, they may cause some people to pause. You know what I'm saying? And I guess the glorification of the fun aspect of it is on a level where you don't even think about what's in it until until you become addicted.
Yeah, gotcha, man. Y'all give it up for Al Kapone.
Hold on. What happened?
Right here.
You even have me on like Miss Ellis. You don't have me all on the string and hook. You're talking about everybody else and don't talk about my blues right now. Listen, man. You know, get the blues rap.
It's in the shot.
Yeah, it's in the shot.
There you go.
The blues rap, man, my new project. I'm blending blues and rap together in a way that's superb. You know what I'm talking about? And it represents Memphis and the Mid-South to the fullest. The Memphis way, blues and rap. Get you one. It's available online on every streaming site. It's called The Blues Rap, man. Al Capone, Al Capiz, old boy. Support me. And tomorrow I'm having a vinyl release party at the Crosstown Concourse at the Memphis Listening Lab, Crosstown Concourse, 1350 Concourse Avenue.
What time?
4 p.m.
I'm pulling up.
To 6 p.m. Come kick it with me. Rock with me. Rock with the OG, man. From the 90s to 2010. I'm still in motion like the ocean. Y'all got me on my third one.
What's their Instagram real quick or how they?
Just go to akmemphis.com and you can get to all my stuff. That's my website, akmemphis.com. Get up on me, and that's what it is.
All right, let's try it again. Give it up for Al Kapone.
Oh, boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, and so, look, don't go anywhere. Stick around. Stay. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll be right back.
What's up? It's Elise Neal. You are watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Stay tuned.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Powered by Black Market Strategies.